Hi guys, I'm Tracey Ward and this is my podcast. Welcome. Today's podcast is going to be about sleep, why it's important to you, and tips to get better sleep. So to start with, 10 reasons why good sleep is important. It's incredibly important for your health. In fact, it's just as important as healthy eating and exercising. But unfortunately, the Western environment is interfering with natural sleep patterns. So people are now sleeping less than they did in the past, and sleep quality has decreased as well. So here we go with the 10 reasons. Now, believe it or not, poor sleep can actually make you fat. Poor sleep is strongly linked to weight gain. People with short sleep duration tend to weigh significantly more than those who get adequate sleep. Sorry about that, I think you just heard my dog sneeze. I'm going to be quiet. So, in fact, short sleep duration is one of the strongest risk factors for obesity, and in one extensive review study, children and adults with short sleep duration were 89% and 55% more likely to become obese, respectively. Now, the effects of sleep on weight gain is believed to be mediated by numerous factors, including hormones and motivation to exercise. But if you're trying to lose weight, getting quality sleep is absolutely crucial. Now, good sleepers tend to eat fewer calories. Studies have shown that sleep-deprived people have a bigger appetite and tend to eat more calories. So sleep deprivation disrupts the daily fluctuations in your appetite hormones and is believed to cause poor appetite regulation. So this includes high levels of a hormone that stimulates appetite and reduced levels of leptin, which is the hormone that suppresses appetite. Lose cognition, concentration, productivity and performance. So all of these are negatively affected by sleep deprivation. Now, a study on medical interns provides a good example. Interns on a traditional schedule with extended work hours of more than 24 hours made 36% more serious medical errors than interns on a schedule that allowed more sleep. Short sleep can negatively impact some aspects of brain function to a similar degree as alcohol intoxication, or being drunk basically. On the other hand, good sleep has been shown to improve problem-solving skills and enhance memory performance on both children and adults. So basically, good sleep can maximise problem-solving skills and enhance memory. And poor sleep has been shown to impair brain function. So this, I think, goes some way to saying, like with fibromyalgia, which I suffer with, it's the fibro fog, as we call it, which affects your memory and things like that. And we know that the lack of quality of sleep is one of the things linked to fibromyalgia. So that does make complete sense. Also now, good sleep can maximise athletic performance, which I know it's pretty obvious really, isn't it? But sleep has been shown to enhance athletic performance as well. So in a study on basketball players, longer sleep was shown to significantly improve speed, accuracy, reaction times and obviously mental well-being. So less sleep duration has also been associated with poor exercise performance and functional limitation in elderly women. Not just elderly women, in me as well. I'm a 49 now, so I can definitely see the difference with the lack of sleep and the lack of exercise the following day. And a study in over 2,800 women found that poor sleep was linked to slower walking, lower grip strength and greater difficulty performing independent activities. So longer sleep has been shown to improve many aspects of athletic and physical performance. It's not just athletes. Now, quite alarmingly, poor sleepers have a greater risk of heart disease and stroke. Now, stroke is one of my fears. I have to say, my granddad passed away following a major stroke. And I've also worked in care, and I've seen the effects that a stroke has on people, and it's just the most awful thing. So this I find quite alarming, so because it's known that sleep quality and duration can have a major effect on many health risk factors. These are the factors believed to drive chronic diseases, including heart disease. Now, a review of 15 studies found that people who don't get enough sleep are at far greater risk of heart disease or stroke than when those slept 7 to 8 hours per night. So sleeping less than 7 to 8 hours a night is linked to an increased risk of heart disease and stroke. Now, sleep affects your glucose metabolism and type 2 diabetes risk. Experimental sleep restriction affects blood sugar and reduces insulin sensitivity. Now, in a study in healthy young men, restricting sleep to 4 hours per night for 6 nights in a row caused symptoms of pre-diabetes, which I found really quite interesting. Now, these symptoms resolved after 1 week of increased sleep duration. So poor sleep habits are also strongly linked to adverse effects on your blood sugar in the general population. And I wasn't aware of this. I didn't realise. Now, see, those sleeping less than 6 hours a night have repeatedly been shown to be at an increased risk of type 2 diabetes. It can cause pre-diabetes in healthy adults in as little as 6 days, and this is what that study has shown. Many studies show a strong link between short sleep duration and type 2 diabetes. So if you're struggling with your sleep, that's something to think about, isn't it? And you know, the things that you eat as well on top of that, those two things together, it's quite an important thing. And also I think this is common knowledge really, but poor sleep is linked to depression. Mental health issues such as depression are strongly linked to poor sleep quality and sleeping disorders. And it's been estimated that, quite alarmingly, 90% of people with depression complain about sleep quality. Poor sleep is even associated with an increased risk of death by suicide. Now, people who've been following my blog know that mental health awareness and suicide and things like that is something I'm very passionate about. So I find this study quite interesting. Those with sleeping disorders like insomnia or obstructive sleep apnea also report significantly higher rates of depression than those without. So poor sleeping patterns are strongly linked to depression, particularly for those with a sleeping disorder. Now, sleep improves your immune function. Even a small loss of sleep has been shown to impair immune function. One large 2-week study monitored the development of the common cold after giving people nasal drops with the cold virus. Now, they found that those who slept less than 7 hours were almost 3 times more likely to develop a cold than those who slept 8 hours or more. So if you often get colds, ensuring that you get at least 8 hours of sleep per night could be very helpful. And actually also, I read somewhere, eating more garlic can help as well. Not very good if you for the smelling factor there, but garlic has a lot of properties, and not just this one. So summary for that is getting at least 8 hours of sleep can improve your immune function and help fight the common cold. So remember that next time you start getting the sniffles, 8 hours sleep minimum. Poor sleep is also linked to increased inflammation. Now, sleep can have a major effect on inflammation in your body. In fact, sleep loss is known to activate undesirable markers of inflammation and cell damage. It's quite alarming, isn't it? Poor sleep has been strongly linked to long-term inflammation of the digestive tract in disorders known as inflammatory bowel diseases, etc. One study observed that sleep-deprived people with Crohn's disease were twice as likely to relapse as patients who slept well. And researchers are even recommending sleep evaluation to help predict outcomes in individuals with long-term inflammatory issues. So sleep does affect your body's inflammatory responses. Poor sleep is strongly linked to inflammatory bowel diseases and can create your risk of disease recurrence. Also, sleep affects emotions and social interactions. Sleep loss reduces your ability to interact socially. And I know that as a sufferer of fibromyalgia, you tend to become isolated, and you just don't want to interrupt, really. Several studies have confirmed this using emotional facial recognition tests. Now, one study found that people who had not slept had a reduced ability to recognise expressions of anger and happiness. I find that quite interesting. Also, researchers believe that poor sleep affects your ability to recognise important social cues and process emotional information. So sleep deprivation then may reduce your social skills and ability to recognise people's emotional expressions. I find that really interesting, and that was something else I didn't realise until I was researching this. So the bottom line is, along with nutrition and exercise, good sleep is one of the pillars of health. It is so important. You can't achieve optimal health without taking care of your sleep. So now I'm going to talk to you about tips that help you fall asleep quickly. Because as we've just said, good sleep is incredibly important. It helps you feel good and it makes your body and brain function properly. Some people have no problem falling asleep. However, many others have severe difficulty falling and just as much as staying asleep through the night. Poor sleep can have negative effects on so many parts of your body and brain, including learning, memory, mood, emotions, and various biological functions. So I'm going to share with you 20 simple ways to fall asleep as fast as possible. Now, number one is maybe something you might not have thought about, is actually lower the room temperature. Because your body temperature changes as you fall asleep. Core temperatures decrease while the temperature of your hands and feet increase. So if your room is too warm, you might have a hard time falling asleep. So if you set your thermostat to a cooler temperature between 15 and 23 degrees centigrade, that could actually help. But individual preferences will vary, so find the temperature that works best for you. Also, take a warm bath or shower could also help speed up the body's temperature changes. As your body cools down afterwards, this can send a signal to your brain to go to sleep. So if you struggle, give that one a whirl. Now, I've talked before about 3-4-5 breathing, but with regards to sleep, it's a very similar thing, but it's called 4-7-8 breathing method. Now, it's a simple but powerful breathing method that promotes calmness and relaxation. It might also help you unwind before you go to bed, so I think it's a good habit to get into, to be fair. It consists of a breathing pattern that relaxes the nervous system, and it can be practiced any time you feel anxious or stressed. So I'm just going to give you the steps for it. We've got 6 of them. Now, 1, first, place the tip of your tongue behind your upper front teeth. Okay, then exhale completely through your mouth and make a whoosh sound. Well, that sounds daft, but work with me here, guys. Okay, close your mouth and inhale through your nose while mentally counting to 4. Then hold your breath and mentally count to 7. Open your mouth and exhale completely, making a whooshing sound and mentally counting to 8. So repeat that cycle at least 3 more times. I'm just going to go through it again. 1. First, place the tip of your tongue behind your upper front teeth. Exhale completely through your mouth and make a whoosh sound. Like that. Close your mouth and inhale through your nose while counting to 4 in your head. Hold your breath and mentally count to 7. Open your mouth and exhale completely, making that rushing sound and mentally counting to 8 as you do that. So just keep repeating that cycle 3 more times, and that should help you. Just try and get your body into that relaxed state before you go to sleep. Number 3 is get on a schedule. Now, many people find that setting a sleep schedule helps them fall asleep easier. Now, your body has its own regulatory system called the circadian rhythm. Sorry if I've pronounced that wrong, but basically this internal clock cues your body to feel alert during the day but sleepy at night. Now, waking up and going to bed at the same times each day can help your internal clock keep a regular schedule, and once your body adjusts to this schedule, it will be easier to fall asleep and wake up around the same time every day. Now, I know this is true because this is what happened while I was in the Fast Fix clinic. We had to go over to the clinic and have a urine test and a blood sugar test, and we had to do that 8 o'clock bang on every single morning. So we were waking up the same time every single day for 4 weeks, and going to bed, that started to level out as well. We'll go to bed at a certain time. Now, when I got back after those 4 weeks from the clinic, I would wake up the same time every day. I never needed to set my alarm because bang on, I'd be waking up about 8 o'clock, 7:45, 8 o'clock, and falling asleep easier as well. So I know this works, and that's just after doing it for 4 weeks. So it is, I mean, I hated it to start with, I won't lie, because before I went into the house, I'd be sleeping till probably 11 in the morning. It was just ridiculous. And then I'd wake up and I'd be shattered. But once you get into that schedule and you stick to it religiously, it has a massive, massive positive impact. So seriously, give it a go. And also, it's important to get 7 to 9 hours of sleep each night as well. So this has been shown to be the optimal sleep duration for adults, 7 to 9 hours. So work backwards, a time that you need to get up in the morning, and obviously then work backwards, and then just get yourself into that little routine. Lastly, give yourself 30 minutes to an hour to wind down in the evening before getting into bed. And this allows your body and mind just to relax and prepare for sleep. Number 4 is experience both daylight and darkness. Now, light can influence your body's internal clock, which regulates sleep and wakefulness. So irregular light exposure can lead to disruption of the rhythms and making it harder to fall asleep and stay awake. So during the day, exposing your body to bright light tells it to stay alert. At night, darkness obviously promotes feelings of sleepiness. In fact, research shows that darkness boosts the production of melatonin, an essential hormone for sleep. So get out and expose your body to sunlight or artificial bright light throughout the day. And if possible, use blacked out curtains to make your room dark at night. I personally now sleep with an eye mask, and that improves the quality of my sleep considerably. Now, practicing things like yoga, meditation and mindfulness. Now, last week I did a guided meditation and I had a lot of great feedback from that. So thank you for the feedback. And it seriously does help. So when you're stressed, you tend to have difficulty falling asleep. Your mind's just racing around 10 to the dozen. Things like yoga, meditation and mindfulness are tools to calm the mind and to relax the body. Also, they have been shown to improve sleep. So yoga, which we did in the clinic actually as well, and I absolutely loved it, that encourages the practice of breathing patterns and body movements that release stress and tension accumulated in your body. Meditation can enhance melatonin levels and assist the brain in achieving a specific state while sleeping, where sleep is easily achieved. So lastly, mindfulness, which I'm doing some studying at the moment. It will help you maintain focus on the present. That is what mindfulness is, and worry less when falling asleep. And I will be going into mindfulness in a separate podcast. So practicing one or even all of those techniques can help you get a good night's rest and wake up feeling re-energized. Now, number 6, do not look at your clock. It's normal to wake up in the middle of the night. However, the inability to fall back asleep can ruin a good night's rest. So people who wake up in the middle of the night often tend to watch the clock and then start obsessing about the fact that they can't fall back to sleep. So clock watching is common among people suffering with insomnia. Now, this behaviour may cause then anxiety about sleeplessness, and it's just a vicious circle. So to make matters worse, waking on a regular basis without falling back asleep may cause your body to develop a routine, a negative one. And as a result, you may find yourself waking in the middle of the night every night. So if possible, it's best to remove the clock from your room. If you need an alarm in the morning, you can turn your clock and avoid watching it while you wake up in the middle of the night. Just turn it, face it away from you. or if you're using your phone, don't pick it up and look at it. You don't need to know what the time is. Now, one problem is people that have naps during the day. So due to poor sleep at night, people with insomnia tend to be sleepy during the day, and this often leads to daytime napping. I used to do this a lot before I started the actual ritual of waking up at the same time every day. Because while naps of short duration have been linked to improvements in alertness and well-being, there's mixed opinions about the effects of napping on nighttime sleep. So some studies have shown that regular long, which is 2 hours or more, and late naps may lead to poor nighttime sleep quality and even sleep deprivation, and we don't want that. One study actually showed that among 440 college students, those who reported taking 3 or more naps per week, those who napped more than 2 hours, and those who napped late, which is between 6 and 9 p.m, they had the poorest nighttime sleep quality. So that all rings true, really. Another study found that older adults who nap frequently had lower quality nighttime sleep, more depressive symptoms, more limited physical activity, and were more likely to be overweight than those who rarely took a nap. Other studies as well have revealed that naps do not affect nighttime sleep. So to find out if naps are affecting your sleep, just try eliminating naps altogether, or limiting yourself to a short nap, which is 30 minutes or less earlier in the day rather than in the afternoon or early evening. And it's important as well to watch what and when you eat. So it seems that the food you eat before bed may affect your sleep. So for example, research has shown that high carb meals may be detrimental to a good night's rest, and I do believe that since my low carb evening meals, I have noticed a difference. And a review of studies concluded that even though a high carb diet can get you to fall asleep faster, it will not be restful sleep. So instead, high fat meals could promote a deeper and more restful sleep, which kind of links in with the keto diet, and it does have a positive effect on the sleep. In fact, several studies agree that a high carb, low fat diet significantly decreased the quality of sleep compared to a low carb, high fat diet with the same amount of calories for both diets. So if you still want to eat an high carb meal for dinner, you should try and eat it at least 4 hours before you go to bed, so you've got enough time to digest it. That is very important. Now, listening to relaxing music. Music can significantly improve the quality of your sleep. It can even be used to improve chronic sleep disorders like insomnia. A study of 24 young adults demonstrated that sedative music promoted deeper sleep. Same as like Buddhist music is a kind of music created from different Buddhist chants and used for meditation. Listening to that may be a great tool for better sleep as well, and I might give that one a go and see how I'll get on with that. Another study revealed that 25 participants had a more restful and deeper sleep when they were exposed to soothing music for 45 minutes at bedtime compared to those not listening to music. Quite often, I do actually listen to things when I go to sleep. Sometimes it's just podcasts that are kind of light-hearted, or there are times when I've really struggled in the past, and so I tend to listen to nature sounds, the tropical thunderstorms and all those kinds of things, and you can get them on YouTube free, and you find that you fall asleep before it ends. So number 10, exercise during the day. So physical activity is often considered beneficial to healthy sleep. So exercise can increase the duration and the quality of your sleep by boosting the production of serotonin in the brain and decreasing levels of cortisol, which is a stress hormone. So, however, it is important to maintain a moderate intensity exercise routine and not overdo it. We're not doing marathons here, because excessive training has been linked to poor sleep. So it's just finding that balance. So the time of the day when you exercise is also critical. So to promote better quality sleep, working out earlier in the morning appears to be better than working out later in the day. Therefore, moderate to vigorous exercise in the morning could significantly improve the quality of your sleep. So try and think about when you can fit your exercise in. 11 is get comfortable, and I mean it speaks for itself really, doesn't it? It's been shown that having a comfortable mattress and bedding can have a remarkable effect on the depth and quality of your sleep. A medium firm mattress has been shown to positively affect sleep quality and prevent sleep disturbances and muscular discomfort and all those things. I mean, how many of you are waking up aching? Well, you shouldn't be aching when you go to bed, so maybe you should think about the mattress. And also the quality of your pillow is also quite crucial. It can affect your neck curve, temperature and comfort. And a study determined that orthopedic pillows may be better than feather or memory foam pillows. Now, I do know this to be true because in my past life I used to work at a chiropractic clinic, and we used to sell special pillows. And the first night I didn't like it, but I can't sleep without this thing now. It is so much more comfortable, and your head is in the right position, and it's I've had a lot better sleep since changing them. So give them a go. They are quite good. So also the use of a weighted blanket could reduce body stress and help improve your sleep. Now I was reading about these recently, and they are really good for people with ADHD and some other autistic traits. And you can get different weights. They actually have weights in them, and I guess it must feel like just like a heaviness on your body. So you kind of, that kind of snug, sinking feeling, being wrapped up and everything. I might look into that actually and see how much they are. But also the fabric of your clothes you wear to bed can affect how you sleep. So it's crucial really. You choose comfortable clothing made of fabric that helps keep you at a pleasant temperature throughout the night. The other night I put on some pyjamas, and they were, I was absolutely sweltering. I had to get up in the middle of the night to change them. So, it's true. Don't be too hot in bed. Quite often I'm putting my legs out and sticking them back in, sticking them out. So just get yourself into that right temperature, that right zone, and you avoid all that nonsense. This is one that is important, I think. Turn off all the electronics. Using electronic devices late at night is terrible for sleep. So your iPads, your phones, watching TV, playing video games, using a mobile phone, social networking can make it significantly harder for you to fall and stay asleep. So it's recommended that you disconnect all of these things, put them away, so you can ensure a quiet place free of distractions, and try and do that an hour before you go to bed. And you should be able to fall asleep much faster. And I've also read somewhere actually as well, if you really can't do that, then you can get some amber coloured glasses, and these are supposed to eliminate the blue light that you get given off by your iPads and your phones and your laptops and all that kind of thing. So that helps you to relax more. It's a similar kind of effect, but without turning them off. So if you really can't turn them off, have a go with these amber glasses. I've seen them on Amazon. You can get them all over the place, and they're not that expensive, but it will just reduce that light before you go to bed. And also try aromatherapy. Now I'm an absolute lover of lavender oil. Absolutely love the stuff. So for those that don't know, aromatherapy is commonly used by those who have trouble falling asleep, as it may help with relaxation. And a systematic review of 12 studies revealed that the use of aromatherapy was effective in improving sleep quality. Additionally, it seems that lavender and also damask rose are popular scents with positive effects on sleep. I love both of those smells. So an essential oil diffuser could be helpful in infusing your room with relaxing scents that encourage sleep. So maybe so if you put it on an hour before you go to bed, when you get into the bedroom, it just will smell beautiful, and it will start having that relaxing effect on you. Some people as well use the sprays. I used to have one. I need to get another one actually. A lavender spray, it's just a pillow mist that you just gently spray on your pillow. Also practice journaling. Now, some people have difficulty falling asleep because their thoughts just keep running around in circles, and research has shown that this can produce anxiety and stress, which can generate negative emotions and disturb sleep. We've all been there. You've got a bad day at work coming up and you just can't switch off, or you've got bills to pay. There's all sorts of things you could be stressing about. And research has shown that journaling and focusing on positive thoughts can calm the mind and help you sleep better. So if you write down the positive events that happen during the day, it can create a state of gratitude and happiness, basically. Downgrade the stressful events and promote more relaxation at bedtime, which is what you need. And in fact, there was a study of 41 college students found that journaling resulted in reduced bedtime worry and stress, increased sleep time, and improve sleep quality. Now, I've tried this and I know it does work. And there's various different ways of doing journaling, but that is the most simplest. Just write the list of the positive things through the day. And then, as I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, just things to do list. Just write just 3 the things you want to do the next day. Not a big list, because if you can't get through them, you start getting stressed again. So just 3 things, and then just tick them off, and then do it again the day after. So if you try that, practicing that technique, set aside 15 minutes every night to write about your day. And it is important to focus not only on the positive events of the day, but also on how you feel at the time. So get yourself a really nice little notebook. You can get loads, there's so many nice ones out there. And trying to get into that habit every night, 15 minutes before you go to bed. Now, this one's obvious. Limit caffeine and drink a soothing beverage. Now, caffeine is widely used among people to fight fatigue and stimulate alertness. It can be found in foods and beverages like chocolate, coffee, pop, energy drinks. Now, I personally have caffeine in coffee until midday. After midday, all the drinks I have are decaf, because caffeine can have disastrous effects on your sleep. And we all tolerate it differently as well. It varies from person to person, but it's recommended that you refrain from consuming caffeine at least 6 hours before bedtime. So that's quite a big chunk of time. So maybe get some decaf in and just give it a go and see how you get on. Also, you could try something like chamomile tea, which has been shown to promote sleep and relaxation. I personally don't like chamomile tea. I just don't like the taste of it. But some people absolutely love it. So give it a go and see how you get on with it. But there's a lot of bedtime teas, I think, that can help sleep. So maybe that's something I can look into as well. 16. Adjust your sleep position. So good quality sleep may depend on your body position during the night. There's 3 main sleeping positions: back, stomach, or side. Traditionally, it was believed that back sleepers had a better quality of sleep. But, however, research has shown that this might not be the best position to sleep in, as it could lead to blocked airways, sleep apnea and snoring. In fact, a study done on 16 people determined that the participants who reported consistent poor sleep spent more time on their back. So that's something to think about. Although individual preferences play obviously a big important role in choosing sleep positions, the side position does seem to be linked to higher quality of sleep. Also read something. Reading could be a good activity to help you wind down before bed, especially for kids. It seems that bedtime reading may promote longer sleep. So, however, it's important to understand the difference between reading from an electronic book and a traditional paper book, because we're going back to the light again. The electronic books emit a kind of light that can reduce melatonin secretion, making it harder for you to fall asleep and causing you to feel tired the next day. So give that some thought, because I know a lot of people do read before they go to bed, and I know electronic gadgets are kind of overtaking books, so think about getting some of those amber glasses. Now, number 18, focus on trying to stay awake. So it's believed that if you go to bed and try and force yourself to fall asleep, the chances of succeeding drop dramatically. So instead, you can try paradoxical intention, it's called, which is a technique that recommends trying to stay awake instead of forcing yourself to sleep. Now, this technique is based on the idea that stress and anxiety produced by forcing yourself to fall asleep can prevent you from relaxing and snoozing off. And a study showed that people who try this technique paradoxically tend to fall asleep faster. So that's something interesting. I've never heard of that before. Also, visualize things that make you happy. Instead of lying in bed worrying and thinking about stressful things, visualize a place that makes you feel happy and calm. It could be real or make-believe, but I've done this before and it does work. 41 participants suffering with insomnia were able to fall asleep faster after they were instructed to use an imaginary distraction. And it can vary. You could imagine yourself, I've done this one before actually, imagine myself sitting in a comfortable chair in the garden, and it's a beautiful old-fashioned garden outside a cottage, and the garden's full of roses, and you can smell the roses, and it's such a beautiful smell. And then you decide then to go for a walk. So you walk out of the garden, maybe walk through some woods, listening out for the birds, and just really trying to get into this as deep as you can. And then maybe sometimes I used to come out from the woods, and then I would be on a beach, and a beautiful sandy beach, and it was warm, and you could feel the warmth of the sand on your feet, on the bottoms of your feet. And then you decide to lie down on the sand, and you can hear the waves just gently rolling in and out. I've done that a few times. Obviously, that only took me a couple of minutes to describe, but in my head, I try and get it as detailed and as vivid as possible, and I find that deeply relaxing. So try and think of things like that. You can have all sorts of things. You could be sitting in a meadow, sitting underneath a big oak tree, and there's a babbling brook going past you. There's so many different things you could think about. Now, sleep enhancing supplements, some can help you fall asleep faster. They've been shown to encourage sleep either by boosting the production of sleep promoting hormones or just by calming brain activity. So supplements that can help you fall asleep include magnesium. Now, magnesium helps activate the neurotransmitters responsible for sleep. So they say doses of 200 to 400 milligrams a day taken with food have been shown to improve sleep. Also something called 5-HTP. This supposedly boosts the production of serotonin, which has been linked to the regulation of sleep. And they say that doses of 300 to 500 milligrams per day, taken either once daily or in divided doses, seems to be effective in treating insomnia. Melatonin, we've talked about this briefly. That's a hormone that's naturally produced by the body, but it can also be taken as a supplement to help regulate your sleep. So doses of 0.5 to 5 milligrams taken 30 minutes before bed seem to improve sleep quality. Another one that I've never read about until recently is theanine. I don't know how you pronounce that, but it is spelt THEANINE, and that is an amino acid with sedative properties. So although it is not being shown to induce sleep, it could help with relaxation, and doses of 200 milligrams per day seem to be useful with that. Now, the last one, GABA, GABA, is a compound produced in the brain that inhibits certain transmitters and may help the central nervous system to relax. And doses of 250 to 50 milligrams and no more than 1,000 milligrams are recommended in that instance. So that's some things to think about. But talk about it with your doctors. A lot of people don't go to the doctors about things, and you could have some you could have some underlying issues as well. Thyroid and all sorts of things. So the bottom line really is having trouble falling and staying asleep is not only frustrating, but it can also affect your mental and physical health. So hopefully if you use these techniques that I've talked about, hopefully that will help you fall asleep quicker, and while sleeping have much better and more deeper sleep, and hopefully have more energy the next day. So give it a go, and please get back to me and let me know if any of these things helped at all, because people don't realise how important sleep is and how it affects your body when you don't have it. So I think there's a lot of information there for you to think about. So any feedback would be fantastic. I'm not sure what I'm going to be talking about next week. Oh, also before I go, I'd like to say that my book has now been re-edited and is available on Amazon. If you just put into the search engine, it's not rocket science, Tracey Ward, and you'll notice that the price has gone right down. And also if you've got Kindle Unlimited, it is free, so it's worth doing. And also we've got the diet journal there as well. So honestly, if you've got Kindle Unlimited, just get it, download it. There's so much information in there. And as I said, I talk about sleep and I talk about the importance of sleep and all those other things in there too. So it's just like a little backup for this podcast, really. And also follow the blog, which is www.traceyward.me, and that's Tracey with an E. So any questions, just message me, leave comments, and I will talk to you again next week. So everybody take care. Bye.